Welcome to Russia. Russia is a world that contains many worlds. One single day can begin with the very first sunrise over the continent of Asia-Europe in Vladivostok. Cross 8,000 kilometers of taiga forest, steppe, permafrost, and volcanoes, and end with green-purple aurora dancing in the sky above Murmansk beyond the Arctic Circle. This is the only place where you can ski in the morning, swim in warm sea in the afternoon, and then soak in hot mineral springs deep in a pine forest when night falls. Russia is where history and nature roar together with equal ferocity. The blood-red walls of the Kremlin still remember the sound of cannon fire. Golden Buddhist temples blaze in the middle of arid steppe. Ancient stone towers rise high in the Caucasus Mountains. And wooden houses built without a single nail have stood firm through centuries of white snow. Here, time flows to a different rhythm. In some places, the sun does not set for 2 whole months. In others, darkness lasts up to 4 months. Yet people's hearts always remain warm thanks to the hot samovar tea, the sound of the balalaika, and the smiles of people who are used to living with bone-chilling cold. This journey is not a mere list of place names, but a voyage into the very soul of the land of birch trees where beauty takes your breath away, harshness makes you grow, and human warmth makes you want to return forever. Before we begin the journey to discover Russia, let us answer this interesting question together. Which country owns territory that lies on all 4 continents, Asia, Europe, North America, and Antarctica? Moscow. Under golden lights, the onion domes shine brightly like colorful candy glittering against the gray sky. Red Square appears as the beating heart of the whole of Russia, a place where the sound of victory cannons once echoed and the footsteps of great military parades still seem to resound. Right next to it, the towering red brick walls of the Kremlin embrace the Tsar's palaces, gilded cathedrals and bells weighing tens of tons, still preserving their majesty through countless dynasties and historical upheavals. Deep underground, the Moscow metro is as beautiful as palaces, with Italian marble, gigantic mosaic paintings and crystal chandeliers that make visitors forget they are only riding a train. On the stage of the Bolshoi Theater, magnificent dancers soar in Swan Lake or burn with the flames of Spartacus, making the whole world bow before the supreme art of Russian ballet. The moss-covered Arbat Street still echoes with balalaika music, the smell of hot blini pancakes, and the smiles of artists who paint your portrait in 10 minutes. The Tretyakov Gallery preserves the soul of Russia in every brushstroke of Repin, Shishkin, Kandinsky. And Gorky Park along the Moskva River is vibrant all year round, ice skating in winter, electronic music parties in summer, and deck chairs from which to watch sunsets so beautiful they leave you speechless. From the upper floors of Moscow State University on Vorobyovi Hills, the whole of Moscow spreads out like a gigantic painting, ancient and modern at the same time. Icy cold, yet full of human warmth. Lake Baikal. In the heart of harsh Siberia, where endless taiga forest stretches and ancient mountain ranges embrace a gigantic crack in the Earth's crust, an unimaginably deep blue body of water appears like a forgotten ocean. It holds 1/5 of the planet's fresh water and is so deep that sunlight only reaches the bottom after almost 2 kilometers of journey. In winter, a thick layer of ice turns the lake into an endless crystal road. Trapped air bubbles sparkle like millions of diamonds under the sun, while hovercraft and ice vehicles scream across a surface harder than steel. In summer, the water is so clear that you can see omul fish swimming 40 meters below. The rare Baikal seal, the only seal that lives exclusively in fresh water, plays happily, while Olkin Island stands majestically with its shaman rock pillars and prayer scarves fluttering wildly in the cold wind. Standing on the shore, you will hear stones singing when waves strike them, smell pine burning in the stoves of Buryat wooden houses, and feel the primeval silence that the whole world is gradually losing Lake Baikal. St. Petersburg. Under the characteristic gray northern sky, hundreds of canals sparkle like silver spiderwebs, stretching between pastel-colored faded buildings, turning the entire area into the Venice of Russia, the place where Peter the Great once dreamed of building a window looking toward Europe, St. Petersburg. During the white night season, the sun only touches the horizon before bouncing back up again, painting the Winter Palace and the bridges over the Neva golden as they are raised at midnight, leaving a silent space filled only with the sound of waves lapping against pink granite embankments. Peterhof erupts with hundreds of gilded fountains. The Peter and Paul Fortress guards the tombs of the Tsars. The Church of the Savior on spilled blood blazes with onion domes like a prayer made of color rising from historical pain. On Nevsky Prospect, the sound of high heels mixes with violins coming from metro underpasses. Cafes still smell of old books once read by Dostoevsky, and the stone lions on Anichkov Bridge stand proud among the flow of people. History, poetry, and the Baltic wind soak into every brick, making this city both freezing cold and burning hot in the soul of anyone who has ever walked here. Kamchatka Peninsula. Under the ash-gray sky of the Pacific Ocean, where the Earth's crust is still cracking and breathing out hot steam from hundreds of sleeping volcanoes, this wild peninsula appears like another planet with fields of black lava, erupting hot springs and snow-covered pine forests, the Kamchatka Peninsula. In summer, hundreds of brown bears gather along rivers red with migrating salmon. The sky is torn apart by the wing beats of Steller's sea eagles, and the Valley of Geysers shoots columns of steam 100 meters high like the planet's beating heart. In winter, snow reaches chest height. Skiers glide down volcano slopes that are still warm, and sulfur smoke mixes with breath, forming white columns in air of -40 degrees. Here, the helicopter is the only way to reach turquoise acid lakes lying inside volcano craters, while local people still grill salmon on hot stones and tell stories about spirits living underground. The last place in Russia where humans are only passing guests, and nature still holds absolute rule. Trans-Siberian Railway. From Yaroslavsky Station in the heart of Moscow, the long red train begins its journey of nearly 10,000 kilometers across 8 time zones, passing through endless taiga forests, skirting the deep shores of Lake Baikal, sweeping across the dusty Mongolian steppes, and finally reaching Vladivostok on the shore of the Pacific Ocean, the Trans-Siberian Railway. For 7 continuous days and nights, the dining car serves steaming borscht and tea brewed in a charcoal-fired samovar. Passengers fall asleep to the steady rhythm of iron wheels and wake up to find the landscape has completely changed, from snow-white birch forests to distant volcanoes of Kamchatka appearing in the morning mist. At night, the warm yellow lights of luxury compartments reflect on the windows. Outside lies endless darkness, occasionally broken by the flicker of reindeer herders' campfires or the shining golden eyes of wolves. Every stop is a different world: wooden old Irkutsk, modern Novosibirsk, Ulan-Ude with the largest Lenin head on the planet. This journey is not merely travel, it is turning the pages of Russia's vast history with your own eyes. Altai Mountains. In the heart of harsh Central Asia, where the four borders of Russia, China, Kazakhstan, and Mongolia meet in the cold highland wind. Eternal snow peaks rising above 5,000 meters shoot up from Golden Steppe like the final fortress of wild nature, the Altai Mountains. In summer, the turquoise Katun and Chuya rivers rush through valleys filled with edelweiss and poetic grass. Herds of wild horses gallop freely, while Kazakh nomads pitch white yurts beside steaming natural hot springs. In winter, snow covers roofs of wooden houses, sled dogs pull sleighs across frozen Lake Kucherla, and golden eagle hunters still release giant birds of prey from cliffs to catch snow hares in absolute silence. Here, petroglyphs thousands of years old still tell stories of the ancient Scythians. Trails lead to crystal-clear Lake Teletskoye that looks like the eye of a beautiful woman, and the thin air carries the scent of dried grass and the soul of the steppe with every breath. A place where time seems to stand still, leaving only mountains, sky, and the wind singing the oldest song of the earth. Kazan. On the wide banks of the Volga River, where Europe and Asia quietly shake hands across silver water, the 1,000-year-old city appears with its dazzling white Kremlin walls, where golden Orthodox cathedrals stand side by side with the turquoise Kul Sharif Mosque, both looking down on a colorful multi-ethnic crowd, Kazan. By day, Bauman Street is alive with church bells and the azan call to prayer echoing from 4 tall minarets. The smell of honey chak-chak blends with grilled tatar meat, while girls in traditional Tajik headscarves smile brightly beside stalls of hand-knitted wool. At night, the Kremlin glows like a gigantic crown placed on the hill. The Millennium Bridge curves neon lights reflected on the river, and Tatar tea houses stay open until dawn for endless stories about Genghis Khan, Ivan the Terrible, and the friendship between two peoples. Here, history does not divide but unites. Tatar and Russian languages sound in perfect harmony, and every brick tells of tolerance and the strength of preserved differences through 1,000 years of cold Volga winds. Mount Elbrus. In the middle of the mighty Caucasus Range, where Europe and Asia are separated only by a ridge of dazzling white snow, the dormant volcano that has slept for millions of years rises 5,642 meters into the blue sky, wearing an eternal ice cap that sparkles like the crown of ancient gods, Mount Elbrus. In summer, climbing parties rope across crevasses hundreds of meters deep in cutting wind, but upon reaching the southern summit, The entire Caucasus stretches endlessly beneath their feet. And on rare cloudless days, the Black Sea glitters far away. In winter, cable cars carry thousands of skiers to 4,000 meters, where powder snow is as fine as sugar. Europe's longest ski runs plunge straight down into the Baksan Valley, while smoke from A-frame wooden houses at the foot of the mountain mixes with white breath. Here, the Kabardino-Balkar people still tell the legend of Prometheus chained to the cliff. And every morning, the sun rises from behind the peak like a personal greeting from heaven and earth to those brave enough to conquer the heights. Sochi. On the warm Black Sea coast, where snow-capped Caucasus mountains plunge straight into turquoise water, the only city in Russia with palm trees swaying all year round appears like a piece of the Riviera lost in the land of ice. Sochi. In summer, the 145-kilometer-long beach is drenched in golden sunshine. Lounge music flows from beach clubs. The smell of charcoal-grilled Caucasian kebabs mixes with sea salt. And cruise boats glide past the still shiny 2014 Olympic Park as if it were built yesterday. In winter, just 1 hour's drive up to Krasnaya Poliana brings you to half-meter-deep powder snow. Europe's longest night skiing runs lit by neon. And air of -10 degrees warmed by the red sulfur steam of Matsesta hot springs. The Arboretum Park overflows with subtropical flowers. Sochi tea plantations cover green hills, and winding roads around Stalin's former dacha still smell of old pine. Here, in a single day, you can ski in the morning, swim in the sea in the afternoon, and soak in a hot tub among pine trees at night. If these words and images have made your heart beat one beat faster for the land of birch trees, please leave a like. Press subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next journeys. Kizhi Island. In the middle of vast Lake Onega, where silver waves sparkle under the short northern summer sun, a small island appears like a wooden fairy tale box forgotten by time, with houses built without a single nail, scalloped roofs curving upward, and 22 onion domes shining against the blue sky. Kizhi Island. In summer, lake wind gently blows across snow-white birch log walls. The bells of the 22-domed church ring through the silence. And restorers still use traditional axes to keep 18th century masterpieces from ever rotting. winter, snow covers every roof. Only a few caretakers remain. Smoke from Russian stoves rises into the steam of the frozen lake, and snow-covered paths lead to 8-bladed windmills standing motionless like guardians of the past. Here, every log tells of human hands from the age before machines, of the faith and skill of the Karelian people, and of the fragile beauty that all humanity is trying to preserve against time. Veliky, Novgorod. Among northern birch forests and marshes, where the Volkhov River quietly flows into Lake Ilmen, Russia's oldest city appears with its moss-covered red brick Kremlin walls, ancient bell towers and 11th century churches still standing as witnesses of the Rurik era. Veliky, Novgorod. In summer, the bells of thousand-year-old St. Sophia Cathedral echo across the wide square. Original frescoes still glow in light filtering through small windows, and the old riverside market is filled with black pottery, forest honey, and peacock-shaped honey cakes. In winter, snow covers the silver domes, people skate on the frozen river, and the open-air wooden architecture museum at Yuriev reveals dozens of Karelian peasant houses with fairy tale curved roofs. Here, the first Slavic writing was carved on birch bark. The Veshe democracy rang out even before Athens, and every cobblestone remembers the footsteps of medieval merchants who connected Europe with the East along the route from the Varangians to the Greeks. Dombay. In the heart of the Western Caucasus, where peaks higher than 4,000 meters pierce the blue sky and dense pine forests cascade down to lush green valleys. This small resort appears like a miniature Switzerland of Russia with suspended cable cars. Year-round snow and air so thin that every breath tastes sweet. Dombay. In winter, thousands of skiers from all over Russia come to race down red runs blazing through snow-covered pine trees. Smoke from charcoal shashlik rises from wooden roadside cafes, and helicopters drop heli skiers onto 3,200-meter Mount Musa Achitara. In summer, the valley becomes a trekking paradise. Iron-rich Narzan mineral springs gush red. Karache horses graze beside glacial lakes, and trails lead to waterfalls 100 meters high in virgin forest. At night, wooden hotels glow warmly. Accordion music plays by the fireplace. The scent of Kizhi cognac blends with burning pine, so that everyone who has ever come here carries a piece of the Caucasus sky in their heart forever. Murmansk. just a few hundred kilometers beyond the Arctic Circle, where the summer sun hangs in the sky for 2 months refusing to set, and winter brings 4 months of bone-chilling darkness. The world's largest city above the 66th parallel appears with nuclear icebreakers, tall chimneys pouring coal smoke, and aurora dancing across the black sky. Murmansk. In winter, temperatures often drop to -35 degrees, yet Kola Bay never freezes thanks to the warm Gulf Stream. Nuclear submarines silently surface through thin ice. Locals ski across the city and drink hot tea beside the 35-meter-tall Alyosha statue overlooking the bay. In summer, 24-hour golden light turns streets into a stage that never sleeps. Artificial aurora festivals explode over the bay, and tourists board the icebreaker Lenin to watch polar bears swim among drifting ice floes. Here, every breath turns to white frost. Almost every winter night offers the green-purple dance of the northern lights. And people continue to live proudly in the harshest corner of the earth. Ergaki Natural Park. In the middle of the majestic western Sayan Range, where vertical granite walls rise like giant fingers pointing at the blue sky and dense pine forests blanket deep valleys. This nature reserve appears like a living oil painting with turquoise lakes, silver waterfalls, and strangely shaped peaks that locals give poetic names. Ergaki Natural Park. In summer, alpine meadows burst with flowers. Wild reindeer quietly pass by. Trails lead to mirror-clear Lake Raduznoye, reflecting 2,265-meter Mount Zvezdny, and climbers camp beside stone streams listening to water murmuring all night. In winter, knee-deep snow turns sheer rock faces into an ice-climbing paradise. Smoke from small wooden cabins rises into white mist, and moonlight shines on the sleeping giant, an enormous granite block that looks like a titan sleeping for 1,000 years. Here, the air is so pure that every breath makes the heart flutter, and nature remains so wild that humans can only be humble guests who bow in admiration. Suzdal. Among the golden meadows of central Russia, where the Kamenka River quietly winds through endless plains, a tiny town appears like a living painting from the Middle Ages, with dozens of green and gold onion domes sparkling, snow-white wooden houses, and church bells ringing from the 12th century. Suzdal. In summer, the air smells of freshly cut hay and linden honey. Girls in embroidered sarafans walk to service in the Spaso Efimyevsky Monastery, while the small market offers sweet mead and thousand-year-old pickled cucumbers that crunch perfectly. In winter, snow covers the curved roofs of the Pokrovsky Church. Horse-drawn sleighs with jingling bells glide over frozen roads, and the open-air museum of wooden architecture becomes a fairy tale with windmills, Russian stoves, and the scent of freshly baked black bread filling the air. Here, time seems to have stopped. No high-rise buildings, no car exhaust, only the wind whispering through bell towers and the warmth from wooden houses where people still live as slowly as their ancestors once did. Vladivostok. At the very last border of vast Russia, where the deep blue Pacific Ocean crashes against mist-covered pine hills and gigantic cable-stayed bridges stretch like eagle wings, the port city appears with gray warships quietly anchored, the salty smell of seaweed blending with the horns of busy commercial harbor ships. Vladivostok. In summer, the world's longest cable-stayed Rusky Bridge shines with lights. Rusky Island is covered in virgin forest, and the seaside market displays king crabs bigger than a hand and charcoal-grilled dried squid that smell irresistible. In winter, the Golden Horn Bay freezes and glitters. Far Eastern University students walk across the sea, and warm Korean restaurants serve steaming kalguksu beside frost-covered windows. Here, every morning the sun rises first over the whole of Russia. Korean, Chinese, Japanese and Russian languages mix in the streets, and locals proudly say they live where the continent ends. But the Asian dream has only just begun. Before we move to the next destination, let us answer this interesting question together. What is the name of the famous bridge that connects Vladivostok with Rusky Island? Ruskeala Mountain Park. Deep in the dark green pine forests of Karelia, where Finns once quarried pure white marble for centuries, an abandoned quarry suddenly turned into a wonder when crystal-clear groundwater filled it, transforming the old mine into a radiant turquoise lake that reflects 100-meter-high marble cliffs and glittering stalactite caves. Ruskeala Mountain Park. In summer, visitors paddle kayaks across unreal green water. Sunlight penetrates the layers and paints marble patterns like living paintings, while underground light tunnels glow with colored lamps so that everyone feels they have stepped into a fairy tale. In winter, Avankovsky waterfall freezes into a gigantic crystal curtain. Cliffs are covered in snow. Illumination turns the entire canyon into an ice palace, and the bravest jump bungee from 25 meters onto the solid frozen lake. The biting cold mixes with the scent of pine and wet stone, and the sound of dripping water in the caves echoes like an ancient song of the Karelian land and ski. The Motherland calls. On the blood-soaked Mamayev Kurgan Hill, in the silence of tens of thousands of nameless graves, a gigantic woman made of steel and concrete, 85 meters tall, strides forward, hair flying wildly, sword raised high as an eternal oath never to yield. The statue the Motherland calls in Volgograd. At her feet, stone steps lead upward like a journey from hell to heaven. Reliefs show the furious and suffering faces of Stalingrad soldiers. And the wind whistling through the 33-meter sword sounds like the battle cry that still echoes from the winter of 1942 to 1943. In summer, scorching sun makes her even more majestic. In winter, snow covers her stern face and turns her into a mother mourning her children on an icy plain. Standing beside her, everyone feels small. Here's the heartbeat of an entire nation that pounded during the 200 most terrible days and nights of the 20th century and understands that victory is never free. Ingushetia. Among the sheer gorges of the Central Caucasus, where eternal snow still clings to 3,000-meter Table Mountain, this small land appears with hundreds of ancient stone towers rising like spears, silently guarding mountain villages perched between white clouds and deep abysses, the Republic of Ingushetia. In summer, sheep and Karachay horses graze on lush alpine meadows. Smoke from ancient stone houses mixes with the sound of Quran prayers from small mosques. And old men in faded Cherkeska coats tell legends of the Vyborg people who lived here even before Genghis Khan. In winter, snow buries 15th century battle towers, mountain passes show only off-road tire tracks, and people gather around fireplaces telling heroic tales while drinking hot herbal tea in freezing stone rooms. Here, hospitality is more sacred than any law. One word can weigh more than blood. And the silent towers still remind everyone that freedom in these high mountains has always been paid for dearly. If these words and images have made your heart beat one beat faster for the land of birch trees, please leave a like, press subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next journeys. Swallow's Nest Castle. on a sheer 40-meter cliff at the edge of the Crimean Peninsula, where Black Sea waves have crashed against black rock for millions of years. A tiny castle clings to the precipice like a real swallow's nest. With Gothic pointed towers, hanging balconies, and white walls sparkling in the sun like a romantic dream of a German baron from the early 20th century, Swallow's Nest Castle. In summer, salty sea wind blows through open windows. Tourists queue on narrow stone stairs to stand on the tiny balcony where you can almost touch clouds and waves with your hand, while far below, cruise boats glide like toys across the deep blue ocean. In winter, mist wraps the pointed tower like in a grim fairy tale. Huge waves throw white foam right up to the castle foot, and the yellow light from small windows makes it look like a lighthouse of dreams that never surrenders to storms. Standing here, one feels the fragility of man before violent nature, and it is exactly that fragility that creates immortal beauty. Kaliningrad. On the cold Baltic coast, where Russia is cut off from the mainland by 3 borders and centuries of German history, the small city appears like an island in time, with red brick Prussian houses, ruined Gothic cathedrals, and the salty smell of seaweed mixed with bells from the newly rebuilt cathedral on its old foundation, Kaliningrad. In summer, Yantarny Beach glows amber gold. People dig stones of the sun from the sand, and the reborn Königsberg Old Town offers German beer, an amber museum, and fishing boats returning full of Baltic crab. In winter, Baltic wind howls through frozen canals. 19th century Prussian forts stand silent in the fog, and lights from the modern cable-stayed bridge shine on the water, connecting past and present. Here, German words still linger on old signs. Locals drink coffee by the fireplace, telling how Kant walked the same streets at the same hour every day, and every brick bears the mark of 2 nations, 2 wars, yet proudly continues to live by the sea. Vyborg Castle. In the icy Gulf of Finland, on a small granite island polished by Baltic waves for thousands of years, the 13th century Swedish castle stands proud with round Olof Tower 75 meters high, 5-meter thick stone walls and dark corridors that still smell of gunpowder from the day Peter the Great captured it. Vyborg Castle. In summer, rare sunshine lights the white Swedish walls. Visitors climb narrow spiral stairs to see the entire glittering bay from the top. Romantic Monrepos Park stretches along the shore, and night festivals echo with wooden swords and drums in the courtyard. In winter, snow covers the pointed roofs. Fog coils around the tower base like medieval ghosts, and yellow museum lights fall on cold suits of armor, retelling 300 years of Swedish, then Russian, then contested history. Standing on the highest fortress in northwest Russia, Baltic wind whistles through stone cracks, and one can almost hear the footsteps of Swedish soldiers, Russian soldiers, and the long sigh of history that never rests. Kazan Lake. Halfway up the eastern Caucasus at almost 1,870 meters, where the air is so thin and every step makes the heart beat louder. The longest lake in the North Caucasus appears like a gigantic turquoise jewel embraced by stone mountains, so clear that it perfectly reflects both white clouds and distant snowy peaks. Lake Kazan. In summer, trout swim 70 meters deep in ice-cold water. Alpine grass and wildflowers cover the shores. Chechen men pitch tents on the rocks telling ancient heroic tales. And small wooden boats glide silently so as not to disturb the silence of the high sky. In winter, the lake surface freezes thick, snow covers the sheer cliffs, and rare guests walk on the ice hearing cracks boom like thunder in absolute silence. Standing by the lake, the wind cuts the skin, yet the heart feels strangely warm, because the mountain people still believe that dipping a hand in this sacred water washes away all sorrow into the distant Caspian Sea. Yekaterinburg. On the invisible border between Europe and Asia, where a simple granite obelisk quietly divides the continents, Russia's fourth largest industrial city appears with massive Stalinist buildings. The blood-red church on the blood commemorating the last royal family, and the Iset River calmly flowing between two centuries, Yekaterinburg. In summer, Wiener Pedestrian Street is alive with guitar music. Old cafes still smell of Soviet piroshki, and the brightly lit Boris Yeltsin Museum tells how the first president once stood on a tank. In winter, snow covers the 1905 square. The frozen lake becomes the city's biggest skating rink. And lights from the Ural's tallest Vysotsky skyscraper shine on streets that still remember the 1918 execution of the Romanov family. Here, bloody past and technological future coexist. People drink tea from old samovars while programmers write code for the world. And every morning the sun rises from the Asian side, yet everyone insists they live in Europe. Nizhny Novgorod. Where the two great rivers Volga and Oka merge into one endless silver ribbon, the ancient city appears with 2 kilometers of red brick Kremlin walls embracing 13 proud towers, looking down on old wooden houses and steep streets that once heard the footsteps of Kuzma Minin in 1612. Nizhny Novgorod. In summer, modern cable-stayed bridges glow beside the ancient fortress. Rojdestvenskaya Street is filled with cafes and accordion music, and tourists take the cable car over the river to see the city spread like a gigantic painting. In winter, snow covers the Stroganov church domes. Christmas markets sparkle beside the frozen river, and warm taverns serve hot mead and Volga-style pelmeni. Here, trade, history, and river beauty intertwine. Every Kremlin bricks remember the cry for the motherland. That saved Moscow. And every sunset paints the water red as if reminding that this place has always been the commercial heart of vast Russia. Kibini Mountains. Inside the Arctic Circle on the Kola Peninsula, where the summer sun refuses to set and winter lives in purple darkness. Low but sheer mountain ranges appear with eternal snow. Deep blue lakes and apatite mines glittering like diamonds under thick ice. The Kibini Mountains. In summer, alpine meadows burst with purple and yellow flowers, reindeer graze on gray rock lichen, and 24-hour polar day lakes reflect the midnight sun. In winter, -40-degree winds whip the cliffs, night ski slopes glow neon, and aurora dances green and purple right above snowboarders who come from all over Russia. Here, the air is so clear you can see the Milky Way. Indigenous Sami still herd reindeer and tell of gods living in stone, and at the foot of the mountains, the mining city of Kirovsk stays lit all night long like a spaceship lost in the Arctic. Novosibirsk. In the heart of icy western Siberia, where the wide Ob River cuts the endless steppe in two, the biggest city of the region appears with huge scientific institutes, an opera house whose dome weighs more than 3 aircraft carriers, and the vibrant life of 3 million people among snow-white birch forests. Novosibirsk. In summer, artificial beaches along the Ob are full of golden sun. Russia's largest zoo roars with Siberian tigers, and Lenin Street shines with bars and electronic music from Soviet basements. In winter, -40-degree cold turns the river into a highway. People skate across it to work. And lights from the world's longest metro bridge fall on the snow like a fallen galaxy. Here, Akademgorodok laboratories stay lit all night while academics drink coffee discussing the universe, and the golden-domed Alexander Nevsky Church stands quietly in the snow, reminding that science and faith coexist in Russia's coldest corner. Sviazk. In the middle of the vast, man-made reservoir of the Volga, where green water once drowned hundreds of ancient villages, a small island appears like a dream from the time of Ivan the Terrible's snow-white monastery walls. Soaring bell towers and a 16th-century wooden church built without nails stand silently under the blue sky. Sviazk Island. In summer, tourist boats glide across mirror-flat water. Bells of the Uspensky Monastery ring for kilometers. Ancient frescoes still glow in narrow window light, and the small market offers black bread and smoked Volga fish. In winter, snow covers the green domes. The floating bridge to the island is slippery with ice, and the History Museum inside the former Stalin-era prison silently tells of thousands once held in cold silence. Standing on the highest hill, river wind brings the smell of hay and pine, and one feels the fragility of a fortress built in only 4 weeks to conquer Kazan, now left with nothing but tranquil beauty like a prayer surrounded by water. Yaroslavl. Where the wide Volga and gentle Kotorosl rivers meet, the 1,000-year-old city shines like a jewel of the Golden Ring, with dozens of onion-domed churches glittering, 17th-century frescoes still glowing, and bells ringing from soaring bell towers. Yaroslavl. In summer, the Volga embankment is full of strolling people. The old market offers black pottery and dandelion honey, and the city's bear symbol stands proudly watching crowds gather for city festivals. In winter, snow covers the Church of Elijah the Prophet with its gigantic 7 Days of Creation painting. The frozen river becomes a huge skating rink, and lights from 18th century merchant houses reflect on the water like a living oil painting. Here, every brick remembers when Yaroslavl was Russia's temporary capital in 1612, and every sunset gilds the domes as if reminding that beauty and faith can survive any historical storm. Thank you all for traveling with me throughout this entire journey. If these words and images have made your heart beat one beat faster for the land of birch trees, please leave a like. Press subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next adventures. See you again in a new land, probably still cold, still breathtakingly beautiful, and still full of untold stories.